Mingo
Hey, what's going on, everyone? So it's Keith here again at Coding Blind Tech, and in this video, we're going to take a quick look at how to right click and left click using your keyboard while your screen reader is configured for a laptop layout. Okay, so we're going to be using NVDA Screen Reader, and I am on my laptop that only provides me all of the main keys. What I don't have is the big numpad on the right. Okay, so usually when you install NVDA and it recognizes that you're on just a laptop keyboard, by default, it will set that layout for you. All right, so and that's what we've got going on here. Now, whenever I plug in my big keyboard, it will recognize that I have a numpad, and then I can also use my insert key as my NVDA modifier key. But in this case, all we have is our caps lock key. Now, I'm going to show you two examples of when you would want to, or one example of when you'd right click, and one example of when you left click. It's a very simple command to be able to right click or left click, but it's the two commands before you right click or left click that are important because we want to make sure we have our focus. Now, to jump right into this, we're on, we have Git Bash terminal open. Git Bash is a terminal that mimics and feels like you're on a Linux shell or a Linux bash line. However, we are actually on a Windows machine. All right, so the first example, when would we want to right click? Okay, so as a coder, we spend a lot of time inside of a terminal. And if you've ever spent any time inside of a bash line or Git bash, you will find out quickly that you cannot use Shift F10 to open up a menu in order to paste or select all or copy. And you will find on a bash line that when you try to paste stuff into the terminal, you can't just use Control V as a Victor to paste that stuff. You'll find out the same thing in Git Bash. You cannot use Control V as in Victor to paste. So in that case, you'd want to right click. How would we do that on a laptop layout configuration with NVDA Screen Reader? All right, so the way that we do that is we first want to focus our object navigator, and we also want to get focus on where our cursor is. So to do that, you want to hold down caps lock key and press
move
backspace.
to focus. Mingo 64 colon
All
slash C slash.
right, that's at the same time. And what that will do is you'll move to focus. Now we want to take our mouse pointer and get its focus to this area as well. Now to do that, you want to caps lock Shift M as in Mike at the same time. Okay, you may not get any feedback, but what happens there is it helps, bring that mouse pointer focus to the object we're on. Now what you want to do is actually perform the right click. So to right click, you press caps lock and right bracket at the same time. Right bracket is 1, 2 to the right of the P key.
Right click. Task manager 1 of 2.
All right. So what we're experiencing here is my focus has actually gotten lost because my mouse pointer may not be near the window I'm on, and the window I'm on is actually minimized. So I'm going to press escape
Show hidden icons hide button.
because what it's done is pulled my focus off of Git Bash. So I'm going to hold down Alt and press Tab.
Mingo 64 colon slash C.
All right, that's going to get my focus back on Git Bash. And now what I want to do is anytime you ever have that happen, you want to go ahead and make it full screen. So to do that, you hold down the left Alt key, which is one left to the space bar, and then you press the space bar at the same time as the Alt key.
Restore unavailable R.
Now we can press X.
Mingo 64 colon
That
slash C slash code terminal space
maximizes our
dollar.
screen. Now we can go back through our commands. Caps lock,
Move to
backspace,
focus. Mingo
moves to
64 colon slash C.
focus. Caps lock, Shift M as in Mike.
Dollar $TM.
All right, now we heard $TM. So that's TM because it's on our terminal line. We can backspace that out. But we did actually get some feedback there. So we know we've got that mouse pointer focused on our line. So now we can perform our right click. So caps lock right bracket.
Context menu.
Now we get our context menu. This context menu cannot be opened with Shift F10. It has to be a right click or an applications key, which we don't have on our laptop. If I down arrow now,
Open unavailable. Copy tab Control plus ins unavailable. Paste tab Shift plus ins. Select all A.
so you kind of hear the commands that I was telling you about that you might need. All right. So that's where we might perform a right click, and that's the steps you want to take to be able to do that. All
Move.
right. So I don't have a live example for the left click, but I will explain to you where you would want to use it. So there are
Dash
times,
game Jim Mingo 64/C.
let me make that be quiet. There are times where you cannot, maybe you can focus it with the arrow keys or the tab key on a web page and element. Maybe you can get to where you want to get to, but by pressing the enter key or the space bar, it will not activate it. Now, when you can't activate it with the space bar or the enter key, but you know that you can click on it and it will do something, then that's when you'd want to use a left click. So the left click is exactly, the process is exactly the same as the right click, except the left click is caps lock left bracket at the same time. So we always want to caps lock backspace
Move to focus.
to get that focus for the navigation object and the cursor. Then we want to always caps lock Shift M as in Mike to bring that mouse pointer focus in. And then we would perform caps lock left bracket, which is one to the right of the P,
Left click.
and that would perform your left click. Alrighty, so that's all for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. All right, thanks. Bye.
Tab OBS 2 9.